Okay, so you feel like you missed out on Uniswap token. Let's see if you really did. All right, so from what I was seeing originally, the RSIs were converging, squeezing into a range, and then it finally broke out. Right now, it's still on the 4 hours, still only at let's see, what is that? I hate measuring the RSI. 80. Let's just say 87. Stochastic RSI hasn't quite turned over yet. On the 4 hour, it's attempting to, but I believe it's either going to do some kind of consolidating action like it did here, or it's going to just go sideways, because the RSI to me is not maxed out yet, and I think we're in a season where RSIs are going to max out. Let me reset this. RSIs are going to max out to 99, 100. That's my belief. Anyways, from what I've seen in the past, I believe the highest it's gotten so far is 86, 80, 90 or so. Let's get to 90 RSI, then we can talk about topping out. But even so, I think it's going to, even if we top out, we're going to get some kind of consolidation, like one of these moves over here, for making another small move back up. But that's going to be, we're in a high volume region. You see this area over here, we got a lot of volume there. That's the, what do you call it? That's the ideal goal for this next volume range here. And we have some consolidated volume over the past day or so, or a little less than a day, adding up those candles. But ultimately, I think we're going to get another push up, and that looks like to $41. That's where my target is. This is just this is not financial advice. This is suggestions for to add into your own trading style, and not everybody uses the same indicators or the trading style. So this is just maybe give you a different perspective. The MAs have already curled up. The 21-day average is the blue EMA line. It's already broke through. Pretty good indicator of where the price action was settling in at. On top of the 21-day. The 21-day moving average is pretty important for the 4 hour on time frame on up. So keep that in mind if you didn't know that. So that's Uniswap right now. Is obviously it's in a giant bull flag. It could go much higher. They have the version 3 Uniswap coming out, which will lower gas fees. And right now, Binance Smart Chain with PancakeSwap and upcoming Sushiswap are really taking over the low to no fees transfers right now. So a lot of Binance is doing so well. BNB token, PancakeSwap, they're doing so well right now because that's where a lot of the volume is going into. Because Uniswap uses Ethereum, and Ethereum gas fees are just so high, nobody's interested in using it right now. So tokens like Uniswap, 1inch, and Sushi have some catching up to do. Speaking of Sushi, have you missed Sushi yet? Not quite. This is on the 4 hour chart. If we reset, zoom out, this is the next play you're going to want to look at. It might not happen right away like you hope, even though we do have, you see here, the volume can still go a little higher from where we're at right here compared to these past areas. This breakout from here to here, the targets are listed they're out of whack there. Targets are listed there. They can be adjusted. Obviously, these are high volume regions that I chose out for target. Well, for target 1 and target 2 is inverted head and shoulder target. Let's get that zoom in again, show you what ideas I had going on. the diagonal inverse head and shoulder pattern here, and we'll probably be able to see it within the RSI as well. The ideal entry would have been on previous resistance tests. This green line here is showing diagonal falling resistance. We had some, I was going to say we had some consolidation at the resistance, but no, we just blasted straight through it. The EMAs are curling up. The 21-day is the faster moving average. The red is the 50. The yellow is the 100, and the purple is the 200. We got some action on the 4-hour over the 200. Ideally, by the end of the day, it looks like we want to stay above $15.88 or so to confirm this move up. And then the 21-day moving average is going to continue to move up according to where we are at with the other indicators. We'll get to that in a second. What I identified was there was a liquidity grab under what seemed to be support. I mean, you can move it. The wicks are going to be not really good indicators at the moment of where support was. But somewhere around there, and you got these pulls under the support before a move up, and a confirmation of it being a liquidity grab. This is where a lot of early buyers came in, and they came in around $14, and they were trying to be washed out. The market makers were trying to wash them out before a move up, but the confirmation of it that this was an important move was the higher low. We got a higher buy-in from the previous low that we created, and then we're attempting to create a bottom, so to speak, from here. Not really rounded, but you see what I mean. And confirmation of that for me is coming back to $16.62 as confirmation that we have created a bottom. We would need a candle close above, and again, this is on the 4-hour, solid candle close, not a wick. Then target 2 is the inverted head and shoulders neckline. Sort of, I chose this as the neckline from the bottom of the head, or the top of the head, however you want to see it, to the neckline of the head, and then you come across, which is why I made the red line, Alt H. It's Alt H on, you type in on TradingView, and then from there you measure out. From there, it's just the simplest way to do it. Oh, it's lower. That's why I was like, that it wouldn't look right there. I guess we can come down a little bit. Either way, you can either use this one right there, there's a lot of confluence, or come down here, measure in between. Everything's a zone anyways, never really a particular actual number target. It's a zone you want to trade within, and then you take this line, put it on top of where the price action currently is, and you're going to get a target somewhere around there. I still have $17.75 and above or so. You're probably going to get an overextension to $18 or $17.90 something cents before another consolidation, pull back into consolidation, probably a pull back to this target here, $16.62 as support, or wherever the 200-day moving average happens to move up to, which by the time we do get to $16.62, the moving average will probably be somewhere around here. So you haven't missed out on Sushi. Ideally, you would have wanted to get in between $14 and $15 as with confirmations of using indicators and volume and higher lows. But you're still not late. You just have to play the higher time frames. Now you have to wait for these higher time frames to play out before you start to see the best price action. So that's that for Sushi. Keep an eye on Sushi. You might still get some consolidation within this range here, because you're looking at the volume, what could look like support, what $15.30, and under the 200-day moving average to $15.90 or so. So expect that to happen. If you get in now, there could be a small pullback. The low time frame indicators are they seem to be overbought. When they're at the top, they're overbought. When they're at the bottom, they're oversold. And ideally, you want to get in on the bottom of all these indicators, oversold. Ideally, on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. So you want to look for that. As you see here, your ideal spot would have been a higher low here. Stochastic would have told you, we bottomed out on the stochastic. So now the RSI is looking to make a move up. The stochastic pretty much says where the RSI is going to go on any given time frame. MACD is still consolidating, going sideways. No real bursts on the MACD like we've seen here, to show that we do have absolute tops for those the move up on that given time frame. So a good range to get in on Sushi would be right there. Play back this video if you get a chance. And at the same time, what I did notice, if you're keeping an eye on patterns, which I studied patterns for years, like you have to, it's like being a mathematician. You always have to stay up on your math. You have to pull out the chalkboard, pull out the whiteboard, and make sure you're still, you still got it, you still have it, and hone your abilities. It's like getting on a basketball court. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, they were as athletic and as talented as they stayed on the basketball court. They were gym rats. You have to continually work on your jump shot, even if you are the best. So looking at patterns, it's no different. And what I noticed was ADA, go to the 1 day, ADA and Uni pretty much have the same pattern going right now. And I noticed it because I was in ADA this weekend from $1.20 or so. Pretty much the same pattern. Honestly, ADA is now lagging. ADA isn't, if you don't know what ADA is basically an enterprise blockchain with artificial intelligence properties backing it. And that's the AGI Singularity Net token, which is up over 1,200% this year alone. I've been talking about it on my Twitter for almost probably a year now, probably since about 3 or 4 cents I've been talking about it. I've been in since between 1 or 2 cents. Nobody is doing what ADA, or nobody's doing what nobody's doing what ADA's doing. Nobody's doing what Singularity Net is doing, and they literally do not have the capabilities to do what Singularity Net can do. Singularity Net will be, or AGI will be, the artificial intelligence backbone of every DeFi, of every useful DeFi token in the space within the next few years. I'm promising that. So imagine what the price of AGI is going to be in the future. Let's look at AGI real quick. We'll come back to. So I've been talking about AGI since back here. I read the white paper, and you can see the body of work. They have an actual artificial intelligence citizen. The first artificial intelligence citizen in the world is Sophia the robot. She's been on almost every publication, most popularly The Big Bang Theory. Basically, her brain is going to be automating your DeFi trades, liquidity pool monitoring, anything that has to do with DeFi. Her brain is going to be running that network in your trades. Nobody, like, you can talk about FET, even the FET CEO said what they're doing, they're nowhere near what AGI is doing. It's not possible right now. The CEO of AGI is one of the world's foremost artificial general intelligence experts. And he put it together in a cryptocurrency in the network. He understood cryptocurrency was the future, and if you're dealing with autonomous robots in the future, flipping your burgers, building your cars, whatever, they're going to need to be paid. Yes, that's a real thing, and the corporations that built them are going to be taxed for it. So AGI is going to be the backbone, or has merged, is the backbone of ADA. So ADA, now you understand why ADA is so important. They merged with this technology that nobody can reproduce in the world at this level in cryptocurrency, and they're going to offer it to enterprise clients around the world. And that is including and starting with actual nations that will be utilizing ADA as their blockchain. So there you go. That's why that's happening, and that's why we're consolidating in a big bull flag right now. It's going to break out pretty high. If you want to see simply where it can go, measure right there to there. What is that? 35 cents to $1. So a whole nother $1 on top of this. Very possible. So we're looking at $2.50 or so for the next major move. Obviously, we're on the day chart. It can take a few months, a month, or, well, let's see. I mean, a breakout like that, it can take a few weeks for it to play out. Keep that in mind. If we look at the DeFi perp, we're already breaking out. Last time before Uni started breaking out, the DeFi perp was around 12,100. And there we are, we're back to the 12,500 resistance. And we had some consolidation above the previous resistance, which is this red line here. There's a lot of confluence going on there with a few outliers. This is a huge outlier, but it's also a vision of the future, a view of the future of where the next price action was possibly going to go. We also had the double 618 Fibonacci tap here, and that's how I see it anyways, and it was also a higher low. We closed above. Why I call it a tap is because this candle action closed above or around the 618 action, and this one was just obviously clear of the 618 line. I mean, yeah, it is a higher low compared to that. So that's what the two arrows are for. The double Fibonacci tap, that's one of the most bullish Fibonacci price action indicators you can find. If we go, we're on the 4 hour, we still have a lot of room to move to the top of this range for the stochastic, which means we have some room to move to the top of the range, even just back to 83, 84, 85 for RSI. You measure out these moves, some little simple little thing you can do. Oh yeah, you just measure out the RSI. And what, 28%? As I said, at 28% on top of there, it's one way you can do it. It doesn't always work 100%, but in this instance, it can work that way. So 28% on top of 12.5. This is for the DeFi index, which is some of the most important and biggest volume DeFi tokens in the space, which happens to be Uni, Sushi. What else can we think of? File. Anything that's a DeFi token, it's in this index. I couldn't tell you 100% which ones they are at the moment. We could find it, but you can do the research yourself. Also, descending volume plus consolidating price. There's a chart you can look for you can Google that can tell you. You can trade based off of volume alone. But in this case, descending volume plus consolidating price or sideways action, you're going to get a green volume breakout eventually. So all these positive indications put together is showing that DeFi is ready to make a nice move. So look for DeFi to make noise this week, as Uni has already started and Sushi is catching up into. While Bitcoin and high cap coins, the top 20s, basically top 10s, consolidate. Look out for that. One more thing I wanted everybody to look at is the total to. It's the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin. This is the logarithmic chart, so it's showing it in a more compressed form. If you take a look here, I don't know if you haven't done this research. The last time we were in this same kind of zone, this is what we call a fractal, and it's playing out perfectly. You have the similar action going on here. If you're paying attention, a lot of people got in right here at around 80 billion, or actually right here, $116 billion market cap. This is total market cap right now. You see over here right now, it's tapped 900 billion earlier, so we're almost at a trillion. I think once we hit a trillion, we're going to see some exuberance from the institutional market. You're going to start to see a lot more indexes coming in to the stock market. You have Bitcoin ETFs in Canada. I think Brazil, there's one coming. And US, there's one coming right now. And Grayscale, they have an index of altcoins, alternative currencies, alternative currency to Bitcoin, Bitcoin being the main currency, cryptocurrency. You're going to start to see a lot more of those coming in. So do the math. I mean, it's really simple. Not necessarily saying this is exactly how it's going to play out, because this would be absolutely ridiculous if, let me give you a better idea. It'd be absolutely ridiculous if we saw this similar price action happening where we're at now. It seems unrealistic. It seems unrealistic, but who knows where the world's going to go. The world's debt is absolutely out of control, and cryptocurrency is the lifeboat. To go up 270,000% from where we are now, that's hard to believe. But this happened over the course of why does it want me to? Anyways, this happened over the course of a year and a half or so. So imagine where the crypto or the altcoin market is going to be in a year and a half. That's really the range we want to keep an eye on. Year and a half from now, we're talking end of 2022. You might want to have a much longer outlook on how long you're going to hold your altcoins. I'm not necessarily saying we're going to be at 270,000% above where we currently are, because that's just, here, it's hard to see. That's just bananas. Can't even go that high right now. Ugh. It's not what I wanted. We're talking absolute ridiculousness. What is that? Yeah, 100 or $1,248 trillion. No, that's not happening. But we will see a huge boost from where we are now. We're about to hit the $1 trillion market cap. Can we see 10 trillion? Absolutely. Absolutely. In 10 years, as soon as the stock market actually crashes, people still want to trade. Most people can't short unless they have over 25,000 in their accounts. Institutionals can short, but there won't be anything left to short. There won't be people buying in. They're all going to be in cryptocurrency. So institutionals are going to come over to cryptocurrency and be like, yeah, we'll put Sushi on the stock market. We'll put Uniswap on. It's all coming. Coinbase's IPO coming. Or not IPO, direct listing into the stock market. It's already around the corner. Kraken Exchange, American Exchange, they're coming with an IPO. You know how many more IPOs there are going to be just for cryptocurrency. So the institutional interest, it's already here. They've been buying Bitcoin over the past year, and now they're buying Ethereum. Then they're going to find out there are thousands of tokens under the Ethereum network alone. They're going to start to add those, start to accumulate those. So for the crypto cap to get to 10 trillion in a year and a half, and we've already cleared What did we do already? We've already done 800,000 this year alone, or 800 billion this year alone. It can happen very easily. Will we have some breaks in between? Yeah, we had a break right there for several weeks. This is a 1 week chart. But I just want you to keep this in perspective when you're looking at these tokens and how rich you want to be. Everything that happens in cryptocurrency, a lot of people that make it in cryptocurrency, it doesn't happen like a lottery ticket. It's not a lottery ticket. You wait 2 days and they tell you if your numbers are right. It takes patience, perseverance, and resilience, because there are going to be ups and downs where you think, oh, it's all over, red, it's all over, bounce back up. But if you learn to trade, if you learn a strategy that works for you, and you be patient, resilient, it all comes together at the end. Not a lot of people. I've been doing this for 7 years. So I've been doing cryptocurrency for 6, trading for 7, and it just started to click for me 3 years ago, 2018. Everybody has a different learning curve. Everybody has different personalities. So it depends on how patient you can be, how well you manage your money and your finances in your life. How important is it that you become rich? Are you a lot of stories. I slept in my car for months so I wouldn't sell my AGI or Link. I bought Link at 32 cents, and now look at it's at $33. Sacrifice. Like, do you have the ability to sacrifice the Starbucks coffee every day, or the going out and spending $200 a meal, and understand that $200 can go towards a low, underappreciated token like AGI was? What are your goals? You have to set your own goals, because we trade our desires. Trading Psychology 101, we trade our desires. And if your desires are to be rich in the short term, it's not going to work out. You might make a little bit of money, but I guarantee you're going to lose it as quickly as you got it, because you won't know, you didn't put in the work to understand how to keep it. But if you're looking to get, be well off or rich or even wealthy in the next year, 2, 3, 5 years, if you're looking down that long-term range, you're going to change yourself to become that person of the future in the future. Think about that. Keep that in mind when you're trading and when you're hodling a coin. Will that coin still be around for me to cash out? But yeah, that's it. I wanted to add that in. Hope everybody got something out of this session. I'm going to try to make more videos as this price action happens within the market. I told a lot of people in my Discord and on Twitter, it's uproar. It's not April, it's uproar. It's only up. Take advantage of the next few weeks in April, and hopefully it all works out for everybody. If you have any questions, you know where to hit me up. Hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter or in the Discord. Thanks. Talk to you later.